Hello, everyone. How's it going? Happy Monday. We hope you all had an amazing weekend. Um, our weekend was super busy, as it always is. Let me get rid of this other banner. Here we go. There we go. So let me check in with y'all, see who's here. Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining us. Danette, hope you're feeling okay. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. Hello, Cheryl. We have Jen with the Giggly Gypsy over on Instagram and Greensburg Live on Instagram. Thank you for joining us out there. We have a lot of stuff to go over with you today and show you, but we're going to hang out for a little bit first, like we always do. If you don't know, I'm William from Allegory Gallery. Andrew may pop in here or may not. He's working on a few things. So we'll see. We'll see if we see Andrew today. But if not, we'll hang out and we'll have a good time together. Hello, Anne. Thanks for joining us. Norma is here as well. Thank you so much for hanging out on this lovely, beautiful, at least here in Ligonier, it's a beautiful Monday. So we are going to have miscellaneous lots. It's Miscellaneous Monday. So we're going to have miscellaneous lots. Many of you tend to like our miscellaneous lots. So we picked some good ones, I think, for y'all today. We have some checked glass. We have some gemstones. We have some rings that Andrew made. If you're on our Patreon, then you already saw very possibly the post about the rings. We're going to have those today. We're going to have some carved skull beads. We're going to have some lampwork glass. I'm going to show you, we have just nearly finished the very first production run of the luster pendants. So if you have an order in right at this moment for a luster pendant, crossing our fingers that nothing goes wrong, your pendant should be shipping out either tomorrow or Wednesday. So that's very exciting for us. We can't wait to get these in the hands of people and see what you do with them and the lovely creations you make with them. We think you're going to love them. We love them. We've gotten down the process, I think, pretty well on the production running of it. We had a few snags here and there. You always do when you're moving from kind of the prototyping to a production, but I think we're up and running. And I have one here, one that I'm going to show you because everyone's been wondering, like, we tell you the back is going to be black, but everyone wants to see that. So we're going to show you that today as well. These still need some final touches to them, so like the edges need to be polished a little bit more and all that, but it's nearly on the way out. It's nearly on the way out. Danette says, I am feeling a little better, tired, and fever is back. Cough and stuffy nose, winded very easily. Darn COVID. At least the body aches are gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's COVID's a nasty thing with a lot of different variants, right? And depending on which one you get, some of them are much worse and affect people differently. Andrew, when we had it, what, a year or two ago? We've been very lucky, knock on wood. We've only had it once each. And that came from going to a show, of course. But when we got it, it seemed to hit Andrew harder, and the shots, the vaccines hit Andrew harder than they hit me generally. But I think mine in the long run lasted longer. Like I got more of a long-term kind of thing where I was really out of breath and really felt weak for like weeks after. I couldn't get up the same energy. And once his was over, he seemed to perk up pretty quickly. So it's really different. It's really different. Oh, Harry says, had laser eye surgery today. Seeing is a bit better. That's awesome. Wow, and same day results. I know when my mom had it, it took a while for her vision to kind of come back and you know get better. Sorry, I have a eyelash decided, there it is, to go into my eye. 3 of them come out. Hopefully, that's great that you're already having improvements. Hopefully it will continue to improve, because I know generally those things do continue to improve, it seems. Jen says, hey, guess who's back in town? That's awesome. Good news here. Are we filming tomorrow, Jen? Are we doing that? Hello, Lennis. Says, hi, all. Hope you heal soon, Harry. I've been doing a lot this weekend. Andrew's been doing a lot this weekend. We have the miscellaneous lots to show you today, but I also added some new gemstones to the online store. So I'm going to take you on a quick little tour of those gemstones. Not all of them that I added. I think we added 16 or so, 16 to 18 new strands into the online store. I wanted to show you some of them in case it might entice you to take a look. And some of them are more higher end things, but there's also some like micro-faceted things that are pretty good pricing, I think. I did start doing videos for each of these gemstone strands. So you can see not only a photo of the strands, but videos of the strands. And I hope that helps. I hope that helps make, allows people to make a decision when they're looking to buy. We are a small business. We know that there are places out there that you can probably get things dirt cheap, but they're not always the same quality. And so, sometimes when you're looking at a picture, the picture looks good, but that's not what you get. And that happens. It's happened to us. I'm sure it's happened to some of you out there. So what I've started doing is taking videos of the strands that are available. I put in the description that you will get one of the strands you see in the videos, so that people know that, yeah, we're not trying to, pull one over on you. We're not trying to show you a picture of something you're not going to get. For one, the pictures that we generally show, you're going to get one of those strands too. Generally, we take pictures of whatever we have, because we buy in small quantities, so we don't have 100 of anything. We don't have to fit 100 strands in a picture. So if we have 6 strands, usually all 6 strands are in the picture. But it's always nice to see a video as well. Oh, Jen says we're filming tomorrow, so good. There we go. That'll be nice. Suzanne says, I'm using microfaceted gemstones from AG tomorrow. Nice. Says we also pick colors for our house, peach and 2 shades of green. That's awesome. Those are pretty colors. I don't know what shades of green, but pretty much peach with almost any shade of green is going to look good. So that's awesome. It's always hard to do. We know. Hey, Diane. Diane is here with us. Thank you for joining in. Did I say Susie's here too? Hi, Susie. I don't know if I missed you or not. My things are skipping, and I have a billion things going on in my brain. In my mind, I said hi to you already because I saw it flash by. Other Susie is here with us. Hello, other Susie as well. Suzanne says, I trust AG, period. Thank you. We appreciate that. We are working on that, and we always work on that. Over the 12 years that we've been in business, we try to make sure that, we do right by our people. But new people don't always know that. And new people look at us and we're a small vendor, right? We don't have the inventory other vendors have. And we kind of have a melange, that's maybe the nice way to say, a mishmash of things sometimes, right? We try to focus on jewelry, art, and beads. That's generally what we do, but we have a lot of other things that get thrown in there, and we put out new things all the time. And, sometimes our website looks like a mishmash of things or a melange of things. And so sometimes when you visit us, maybe people don't know, and they're not sure if you can trust. We don't have reviews on our website, and that's one thing we've thought about doing. Generally, those apps we have to pay for to add reviews to our sites. And the thing with that is that we have small batches of inventory. So if you review something, it may not be there for someone else. And so that's a hard thing. And we know that happens on Etsy. A lot of people make one-offs and they still get reviews. So we're thinking about doing that to add some trust to our site for people who are new. We function mainly right now on word of mouth from everyone else, and we appreciate that so much. But that's one thing I've been looking at and considering. Like I said, generally those apps are paid for apps, and it's paying for another thing, but it might be worth it. But we got to see. So in the meantime, like I said, we're trying to add some videos to our product listings, especially the things we make, and some of our higher end gemstones, so that what you see is what you get. We really want you to see what you're getting. So that's what I did. I also added some of the warrior pendants, I call them. I forget what Andrew actually called them. But the warrior rabbits, the soldier squirrels, those pendants. If you ordered one of those, you've been waiting a little while, I know, maybe from our live that we did on those. They are shipping out also tomorrow or Wednesday. So Barb is off this week. She has family in town, and we told her, she asked about time off. We said, take the week, spend it with your family. So I will be doing the shipping. I will be going there probably tonight to do some shipping after this live. I work better at the nighttime, so I'm going to get things ready and work on some things then. Barb had them, honestly, all packed up, and there was a miscommunication that Andrew had put the top coats on, and if you've been following along, we've had issues with the top coats on these, and he finally got everything the way it should be. And Barb thought they were ready, and I thought I had told her to hold off. She could pre-pack them, but we're not packing yet. And she packed them all up. So all your orders were packed. I had to unpack them because the top coat it's a UV resin, and it got in some of the holes of the pendants. We had to drill them out. So it's all these little finishing things that people don't know that happen when we release something. A lot of times when we release it, we're showing you kind of in the process of it, or almost finished, like it just needs a top coat. Well, the top coat also needs a sunny day, which works best. We have one of those little lights, but we found that the lights don't always work as well as a beautiful sunny day, especially for getting the clarity through, and the hardness. So needed a sunny day, and then they developed spots on them, like maybe bubbles, maybe spots. We don't know what exactly. So Andrew had to sand them down, recoat them, and that process happened a number of times before it got right. And during all that, of course, when you're pouring resin on things, sometimes the holes get clogged up. So then we have to take the flex shaft and the drill and go through the holes. And we hadn't done that yet, and Barb thought we did, and they got packed. So I unpacked them all last night, and I had to check them all. We didn't know which ones did or didn't, so we had to check them all. And then I repackaged your packages. So if you get a package that your label looks like it's been taped a few times, that's why. I cut the labels off and retaped over them on new packaging. But yeah, so it wasn't anyone breaking into your package. It was just us getting those pendants out. Suzanne says, I understand about a sunny day and low humidity. Yeah, it is. It's been happening more often here, but it's also been colder. So sunny, and it needs to be a little bit warm, and low humidity. Get that resin to set. So we finally got everything. Everything is good. We're happy with them. And actually, I don't have them here because I already took them to the cottage, but the remainder of those are in the online store right now. So they're at allegorygallery.com. If you want to grab one, they're now available. I think, can't remember if they're around $42, $48, something like that each. Well, let me looky here real quick. Not it. Got to reload the page. Well, I guess I didn't put them on the home page. No one knows about them. if you go into the Allegory Gallery enamel, they're there. $48 and $38 for the small one. There's one small one still available, 30 by 40 millimeters, and the rest are 35 by 45. So it's $38 and $48. And photos are on the website. I don't think I did videos of those. No, I just did photos of those. I thought about doing videos, but I was working on the gemstone videos. So those are really cool. They're in the online store right now. Also, anything from the sample sale. I real quick took pictures of the stuff from the sample sale. And instead of including it on the spreadsheets that I posted this weekend, like I said I would, I just put them in the online store. So they're in the online store at the sale prices that we offer them. They are discounted from their what would have been retails if we offered them as retail pieces, and really those retail prices are probably low, but that's about what we would offer them for. So the sale you're getting on those is probably actually a little better than that. Looking at the size wise, like $36 when really we were selling them for $38 for Andrew's pendants. The amount of work, hand done, laser etched, different things, but generally you're still getting a discount on those. So those are in the online store as well. Let me see if anyone jumped over here on Instagram. Sarah's with us on Instagram. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you. We haven't seen you in a while. So gemstones went in. Those pendants went in. We worked this weekend on finishing up the very first production run of the luster pendants. So I'm going to show, when I flip the camera around, I'm going to show you what one of those almost finished looks like. I have one here in the Venetian red in the water lily design. So if you're watching and you ordered a Venetian red in water lily, you might be getting this exact pendant. We have a miscellaneous sale today, and I wanted to ask you all, please hit the share on this video. Facebook, as of today, because I was on StreamYard and I was looking, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't stream to any of our groups. And I started looking into it, and I started clicking to add new destinations, thinking the groups got wiped out of our list. And when I went to add a new Facebook group, it said, bam, you get the warning. As of April 22nd, Facebook has decided that you can't stream into groups anymore from third-party things. So we can stream to our Facebook page. We can stream to our YouTube, as we will. We could stream to Star Cottage Studio page, but we generally try. I was streaming to that quite often, but we're trying to stream to that page only when it's something that's from Star Cottage Studio. We're trying to get a little bit more, separate things out so people know what we do where. I don't know if we'll keep doing that, especially now with these changes, but we're still playing around with that. But if you are watching this from the group, because I shared it in there and a few other people may have shared it in there since I asked people to share, please follow our page, Allegory Gallery, on Facebook if you're part of the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. Some people are in the group. They don't actually follow the business page because that's a possibility. You can do that. But if you like what we do in the group and you want to be in our group, please like the page. That helps us out. And you can also watch all of our live videos from the page. Now, what's the big deal? Because we can just share into the group, right? One, we have to remember every time now to share into the group. And two, it's not the same when you share into a group with notifications. You used to notify people sometimes that the group was going live. Now it does not do that. You have to be a follower of the page to get that notification. So we're just asking people, please share to help us keep our numbers up, because we know a lot of people or a number of people do watch us just from the group and don't realize that this may be happening. We didn't realize it was happening until I set this video up today at 5:30. So we would appreciate that a lot. Please share. Plus, we're going to do an extra 10% off during the live tonight on the miscellaneous lots if you share this video and put shared in the comments. So if you want to claim something tonight at 10% off, hit share on the video and let us know in the comments that you shared. We'll be checking those comments when I do the spreadsheets. Danette asked, how did the spreadsheet project go? It looked good and was easy to go back to the video and see what the lot was. Hopefully that worked for you all. We got one order extra, which is good. I'm happy to get one extra order. We're going to see if it continues, if people continue doing it. If it becomes something that people don't really use too much, then we will stop doing it. But as long as we get a few orders here and there from it, it makes sense. Makes sense to do it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I wish there were a way that I could do them up a little prettier than they were, maybe, because you know, it's not the best looking thing if you don't follow us and you don't actually know what's going on. But I am thinking about just posting those into the group, the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. So that was a thing. I posted them in both places this time, but because, you know, social media, you try and keep your page looking pretty-ish, you know, and the group is where we can throw things that we're just showing and, you know, having fun with and all that. So it also gives people a reason to be in the group and also on the page. So I think the spreadsheet project is going to keep going. We're going to keep trying it. You know, I don't just want to try something once. And we did get some feedback from it, so that was good, and got an extra order from it, so that was good. But I think we're going to put the spreadsheets in the Allegory Gallery Design Challenges group. So please make sure you join that group. And then to get our live videos, follow and like the page. Maybe this will be a great thing. Maybe Facebook, you know, canceling that out with a day's notice, or with a few hours notice as far as we're concerned. Maybe that was a good thing. Get people to follow in more places. Suzanne says shared. Diane says shared. Susie says shared. Thank you all so much. Nina Designs joined us today. Hello. Thank you for watching. It's good to see you all out here. Let me put up, I'm going to make a quick banner here. I don't know if I have one. And just put up a little banner about 10% off lots today if you share this video. And sorry, everybody, should have done this before, but should have done this before, but it's been, I was really at the laser finishing up things for the trying to finish up the luster pendants. 10% off lots today if you share this video and comment shared. There we go. Okay, so Cheryl shared on my by Cheryl Lynn page. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. So yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day. We've been mostly working on these pendants. We ran up to the Loyalhanna Watershed Association. They had some stuff for Andrew. Andrew's been looking at making his own pigments, and if you've been following along on our Patreon, you probably have seen a lot of this, especially if you have joined our Patreon. If you haven't, please consider it. We are posting a lot more content on there than we ever have. I'm trying to find there it is. Let's flip to that one real quick. Patreon.com/Star Cottage Studio. Star Cottage Studio is our jewelry studio. Also our filming studio. You wouldn't know it from me filming at my house a lot, but we do our filming there. And we also do our fulfillment for the online store there. So if you join that Patreon, $3, $8, or $12 a month, you get different benefits. Some of those benefits are seeing sneak peeks of new releases coming up. Sometimes the ability to set aside some of those new developments coming up. Andrew offered that today. If you missed that post, or last night, actually. Well, it was early this morning because we didn't get home until I think 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock this morning from the cottage. So we, where was I going? The Patreon. We've been posting more there lately, and he talked about some rings that we've been making on there, and I'm going to have those for you today. So hopefully you like those. They're silver, sterling, and fine silver rings made by Andrew. And hopefully you enjoy those. We were up making those last night. We were up at the cottage doing the luster pendants last night and all this weekend, doing some packing and shipping this weekend. So we've been busy. So hopefully you'll join the Patreon if you haven't already. That helps support all that we do at Star Cottage Studio, including the free videos that we put out and the free content that we give you as far as demos are concerned, like our Saturday morning tutorials that Jen does for us. They are free for you. Sometimes you have to watch an ad maybe on YouTube. We appreciate that. But they are free for you, but they do cost us. So part of that Patreon money does go to help replenish those coffers. So thank you so much for that. And we've been posting on there a lot more often. I just finished a post up right before this live. It's one of the things I was doing about liver of sulfur. Have you ever used liver of sulfur before, everybody? I've used it, but only when it's been prepared for me. I've never made it myself. It's easy, but it's not something I've ever done. So I made a post about it today, just taking you through a little walkthrough on how to do it, right? With some pictures and some video. So if you want to see that, you can check that out on the Patreon. That is a free post, but some of the posts are behind a paywall. You have to be a member to do that. And we appreciate all those out there who are members. And I hope you're getting some good, awesome content from it, especially recently. Andrew's been working hard on sharing more, and I've been trying to share more on that as well. So that is that. Let me go back down here and put this banner back up. So how was your weekend? Let me know in the comments how your weekend was going. I told you pretty much all about ours. Ours was filled with yard work and luster pendant work and shipping and ring finishing and lots of planning. We're planning a trip, hopefully this coming weekend, to North Carolina to Fire on the Mountain, I think, if we can swing it. So all of your sales this week are going to go toward that and try to get us to be able to take that trip down to North Carolina for that, to possibly visit with one of our friends down there who is having surgery and check in on her and kind of hang out a little bit, and then heading over to Memphis for I think this is possibly all within the like 3 days. It's going to be insane, I think, for the Metal Museum. So we'll see. Hopefully we can do all this. If y'all buy stuff this week, including the online store and during these lives, we might actually get to go and stay, because there are three different ways we're going to do this. One is to go down to North Carolina, drive back, and then come down and do Memphis and drive back. The other one is to go down and stay, drive over and stay, and then come back. And then the other one is to skip Fire on the Mountain and head to Memphis. So we're hoping we can do the bigger one, where it's a lovely, nice trip, and we don't have to drive back and forth so many hours. Because really, the gas is probably going to be as much as an Airbnb. We might even have some places to stay, but being away and not generating income sometimes is hard. So we'll see what we can do with all of your help out there by sharing this. And if you see something you like, we hope you'll grab it. I think we got really good prices on things today. So yeah, Danette says, my weekend was good except for the COVID. that'd put a damper on things, wouldn't it? That sure would. All right, let me flip this camera around. Please continue telling me how your weekends were. I'd love to hear about it and chat with y'all. I've been keeping up a little bit. I've been checking in on some of you on Facebook, seeing some posts here and there. I know Cheryl finished that Noble Creatures Redux kit with the seed beating. That looked really, really good. And a lot of you have been posting on the Design Challenges group with some of your newest creations that you've been making. Really good things we've been seeing out there too. We appreciate y'all posting and sharing. A lot of you have been working with the treasure hunt boxes and the New Day boxes. Some of those were very much delayed, so we appreciate all of your patience on those. And we hope you're loving those boxes. A lot of you are getting a lot of things out of them, so hopefully you like those a lot. And you like what we put in them. Like you put them in. And says, "Oh, I love Cheryl's Noble Creature pendant kit make, right? She did a great job. Got those sequins on there. Even Andrew didn't mess around with the sequins. But we included those in every kit in case you wanted them and wanted to try them, and we're so glad Cheryl did." Sandra at Sweet Pea Gemstones says, "I traveled all weekend, so exhausted. Just home today at 4 p.m. Went to see my cousin in Virginia. Still haven't picked up my kitty yet." Oh, hopefully, I know that was a rough trip because of what's going on, and I hope everyone is as well as they can be. And I can imagine you're exhausted. It's a hard trip. And it's hard to be home without your kitty, right? I know. Sometimes it's hard to get everything in, but it's hard to be home without our fur babies. So hopefully hopefully you got to talk and chat and laugh and, enjoy each other's company. Yeah, so it's been crazy. So, yeah, we are pushing along, moving through. Let's flip this camera around. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I keep promising to show you. All right, let me flip this now. And remember, if you're new to us, we chat a lot. Please feel free to chat with us. It's always nice when we get replies back instead of just us talking at the camera. I know a lot of you also do things during the live, like, actually cooking or housework or, other things while you have us on in the background. And we so appreciate that too. But if you're out there and you can say hi at the moment, let us know you're out there. And also let us know how your weekend was, if you did anything great this weekend. Okay, and again, this is the luster pendant. This is in Venetian red in the water lily design. All right, and the edges need to be cleaned up a little bit on these, but this is what the back is going to look like. Just so y'all know, some of you have been asking. I already have a fingerprint on it. Let me move that. Let me try and remove that. See if I can get it out of here with my sweater. And they're going to have a lightly engraved AG on them on a black enameled. It's all enamel, everybody. It's not going to just be just a plain copper back. You got the beautiful enamel work on there that we're working hard to get on there for you and get it nice. There's a lot that can go wrong with these pendants, everybody, just so you know. And that's what took us a little while to get the production process down on them. Just to walk you through the steps, let me tell you, I'm going to be posting a post on William Tries Things, my page, my William Tries Things page. If you don't follow me there, please do. Just search William Tries Things on Facebook. And you can follow me there. I'm going to be posting some photos of the process on these, but let me tell you, all right, they start with a sheet of metal, a big sheet of copper, and then we take a punch, which is meant to punch through sheets of copper, and we punch out the discs. All right, so the discs are then punched out. And then we take a little, I don't even know what it's called. Andrew's not here, but it's a thing that you tap with a hammer and it puts a dent, a small dent in the metal. It does not punch a hole through. It's not a hole punch, but it puts a little dent in the metal so that we can see where we want to drill, and it helps, after you put that dent in, it helps to seat the drill bit. All right, and then they get taken over to the drill and they get drilled through. Now, when you drill through metal, you may or may not know, usually you get a burr on the other end from it piercing the metal. So then we go to the big sander, because we don't have our jewel tool completely set up yet. So we go over to the big sander and we have to sand off that burr. The burr gets sanded off. Then, generally, using the drill bit, we use a lubricant, like a Burr Life type of lubricant. So that makes the copper pendant, the copper disc, dirty, and enamel will not stick to that. So that then gets torched so that it burns off all of that that residue, and it gets torched. It burns it off both sides, because as you're handling it, you're going to get it on both sides. And then they have to go into the pickle, and they get pickled for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on how hard or how long or how hot the pickle is. Then they get pulled out, and then they have to be cleaned and rinsed. They are cleaned and rinsed by hand using a dish detergent, and then dried. And while you're doing that, you have to avoid getting fingerprints on the copper again, because if you do that, then you've just now placed the same kind of oily residue that you just finally burned all off. And then they are, the liquid enamel can be applied, and then the solid enamel can be applied. They have to be then dried, and they're usually dried on the kiln. And then the other layer of enamel can be put on, and then they can be put in the kiln and fired. That gives you the black. Just the black. That gets you to the point of just the black. After they're fired, the edges are cleaned up, and they are wiped down and cleaned up, and then they are washed and dried again, and then a luster layer is put on, which, let me see if I have one. Yeah, luster layer is put on one side like that, and then they are fired in the kiln again. And in all these firing processes, at any moment, there can be errors that happen. The enamel gets too hot, the enamel doesn't get hot enough, the enamel sticks to the trivets we use in the kiln. All this stuff can happen and ruin the pendant, because a lot of times once something happens, whether it's too hot or not hot enough, you can fire it again. Too hot, sometimes it melts away. Sometimes you can fix it with another layer. Sometimes you can't. If it cracks because it's stuck to the trivet, usually that's not able to be easily fixed on something this small. And then once this is done, they are washed again and cleaned up. The edges, you can see this edge, we didn't get a full cleaning on that. But the edges then are sanded again, and each edge is sanded. And then after that, they're brought home to the laser to be engraved with the programming that we have figured out, which seems to be working happily, knock on wood. And as long as they engrave just fine, and there's not any issues with that, or sometimes it's a little unpredictable, we don't know why, but it seems like the colors we're using are working well right now, and the formulas we're using for all of this seem to be working. Not all colors seem to work the same. These were laser etched. They take a while to laser etch each one. Each one is individually done. We don't set them and forget them. One is done. Once it's done, it's taken out of the laser. The next one gets put in. They're done one at a time to make sure that they're aligned as best as we can. And then the backs are done on them. and we engrave them with the little AG on the back. So this is the process on each one. At any moment, any of these processes, if we don't clean them enough, for example, or if after the pickling and cleaning we get a fingerprint on them, the enamel won't stick, that can ruin the pendant. It's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. Luckily, we had a really good run for the most part. We had a few that we had to toss aside in the run this weekend, but the run went through, and we will have, I think, every order. Like I said, we still have a few things to go yet on these, but as far as no issues happen, we will have every order beginning to ship this week that has placed an order. Anybody placed an order for these already? If you place an order now, they will get into the next production run that we do on these. Let's see. Sandra is replying. Unfortunately, she's on morphine. I told her I loved her and talked to her even if she couldn't respond. She was actually the one that kept telling me to move closer. Oh, that's sad, but that's sweet. I'm glad you got to spend time with her anyway. She says, yes, it was hard, but I'm grateful I went. It was good to support the family. Yeah, those things, it's hard, but sometimes it's, you feel better if you know you did it, right? And you got to see her, and, they can't reply all the time, but I do believe that very oftentimes they hear everything and they understand everything. When my grandfather was in hospice, or palliative care, he was on that too. He could not reply because of his situation and what happened to him. But we were talking to him at one point. He started tearing up, and it was not like him, but we just knew, and he would squeeze your hand. You just knew he was there and he was listening. So I think that's really good for them and, for the person who's doing the talking. So I'm glad you got to do that. I know that's such a hard thing, and we send our best wishes to you and your family. Okay, now I'm going to show you some of the gemstones we put in the online store before we get to the lots tonight. Just real quick, we put some very pretty Herkimer diamond strands. Now, a lot of these strands are also already made into necklaces. So they are strung up. They are not strung up by us. So I will say they're not always done in the best fashion. They will hold up, and they hold up pretty well. We have a number of people who just wear them this way, right off the rack, as they say. But we do suggest, as most of you are your own jewelry makers as well, that at some point you restring these before you wear them too often. But look at these beautiful Herkimer diamond strands. Beautiful strands. These little tiny, those double terminated. I have tourmalinated in my head. Double terminated, so that the 2 points on the end is what a Herkimer diamond is. You have the 2 points. And those all do come on sterling extenders with a sterling lobster. So if you do restring them at some point, keep those because they're worth it. You can use that on something else. All right. So those are Herkimer diamonds. Those are now in the website, available for purchase. I'm going to flip through some of my favorites. They're going to be more the pricier ones, but it is what it is, right? I like the pricey stuff. It's just the way I am. It's been my curse, right? We have Larimar, 2 beautiful Larimar strands. And these Larimar strands start out with more of the green Larimar, and then they ease. You can see that they ease into more of the blue kind of Larimar. Then some of the darker blue, and then back into some of the green and darker green. So they have a nice ombre effect there, going from the green into the paler colors into the darker blues. So those are in the online store. Michelle says, I'm going to listen to everything, busy making a new pattern on the computer. Awesome. You're always making good patterns, right? Oh, and then these. Lennis is here. Hello, Lennis says shared. Thank you so much. Lennis, your package will be going out soon. It was, I think that was one that was packed up and I had to unpack it. So it's going to get repacked and sent out probably tonight or tomorrow. Sandra says, very pretty, aren't they? Look at these garnets, everybody. Look at these garnets. These little garnet drops. Aren't those spectacular? Beautiful for little earrings, or I could see that. Wouldn't that make a beautiful little bracelet? Maybe some garnets and some, we got some really pretty black spinel. You could put some black spinel in between. Let me pull that black spinel now that I'm thinking about that. Where is it? There it is. Let's see if these would go together as nice as I think they will. Now look at that. Look at that. Do some garnets with black spinel spacers in there. You get that nice flash in there. That'd be a nice, really pretty. There you go, like that with the spacer in between. I think that would look really nice. So anyway, this is these are the black spinel strands. Some of them. Isn't that beautiful? These are only $18 a strand for the black spinel. Now these don't count for the 10% off because they're in the online store already. But at $18, I think that's beautiful. Yes, and hello, Michelle, by the way. I don't know if I said hello earlier. And the garnets, these are, I think, $50 a strand in the online store. Very nice, really nice quality. It's like grade AAA quality. Look at that. There's not inclusions in there. You're seeing just the garnet. Beautiful strands. Super nice quality. And then what else? What else? Let me see some of my other favorites. You know I love the black spinel. We usually sell out of a lot of our black spinel. People just love it. It has such a beautiful effect. This is the square shaped. So these are cut into squares. Excuse me, everybody. These are cut into squares, and people love this square cut from us. I don't think you see it very often, but look when it's on the black spinel, you get all that bling from the side because black spinel has that hard cut that gives you that hard flash. And look how pretty those are. And those are long strands. I think these are 16-inch original, like what it used to be kind of strands. These are only, I think, $18 a strand. That's what we have these at. 18 or 20, I can't remember, somewhere in there. Beautiful strands of black spinel. All of these gemstones are now in the online store. If you go to the gemstone collection, you'll see them pop up. They should pop up at the top because they are the newest things I put in there. How about some hessonite garnets? Hessonite garnet, little ones. Check those out. Let me pull this. They always sort themselves up higher on the strands. Look at those. Beautiful garnets. Again, very, very clear garnets. Very few inclusions in there. Really high quality stuff. Hessonite garnet, that's the brown garnets. Beautiful flash on those. They look like they're coated, right? But they're not. It's just a beautiful quality stone. Hessonite garnets. I think $15 a strand on those. 15 or 18. And let's see, where's my real favorites? Okay. You got the favorites and you got the real favorites. These are the real favorites. The tourmaline. Look at that mixed tourmaline. You get all the tourmaline in there. Even the indicolite. watermelon tourmaline. You got the green, the blue, that pink. Got some of that yellow tourmaline in there, black tourmaline on the edges. Just stunning, stunning. And there are 2 strands of these available. I think these are around $68 a strand. Beautiful quality though, tourmaline. Clear, beautiful. Aren't they? How can you not love that? How can you not love those? Norma says, you know I can't resist the tourmaline, right? Who? I don't know how you can. I don't know how people resist. I mean, I know, but I don't know. So there's that. We only have 2 strands of those available in the online store. I know I had some sales over the weekend, so I don't know if they're both still available. I haven't checked that far yet, what all sold. But I also have these. Now these ones are already made into necklaces. You could wear these as is, or give them as gifts. Now these would be nice gifts. I know. You gotta really love someone, right? Or someone love you. Get someone who loves you to get them for you. But look at these tourmaline strands. These are on, again, already done up on sterling. I would restring them before you wear them too much, but I do know people who just wear these as is, but you do want to be careful. We do not string these. They come to us from our vendor this way. We don't take them apart because they are able to be worn to a point, but this is not something, you know, somebody bought, we get these in black opal like that too, and we had a few of those. We had a guy to show our December show in Pittsburgh and said, I wore that necklace all year. All year. He said, in the pool, in the shower, in the sea, went swimming with it, wore it every day, never took it off. And just before the next show, it broke. And he says, I could have gathered them all up. He says, but I just wanted to find you again and just grab a new one. So he went and bought another one, which was very nice of him. But he really wore it hard before it came apart. But I will warn you, like I said, we don't do these. They're not always done the way we would do them, with doing the crimping exactly right. So just be careful. Take a look at them when you get them. Make your own decision on whether you want to wear them as is or just restring them. Restringing it would probably take 5 or 10 minutes, really, for most of you out there. You know what you're doing. But look how beautiful those tourmaline are. Just those chunky rondelles. They give you so much color and such a beautiful mix of tourmaline. Like, these aren't done in the ombre, which I think actually makes them, I kind of like them more because each one stands apart. Like, look how luscious that little grouping is right there. You go from the kind of green to the pink to the yellow to the pink back to some green, like just juicy. Look at that bright yellow tourmaline right there. Yellow tourmaline is not always easy to get and not cheap. I will just say that. I bought myself a nice piece of yellow tourmaline by mistake once. I don't know if you've ever heard that story. We were with a vendor and we just got in the, you know, when you're buying and you get in the heat of it. I bought a nice big piece of yellow tourmaline, not realizing what the price was. And then you get the price tallied up in the end and you're like, oh, we bought a bunch of stuff. That's probably right. And then you realize that you didn't buy as much as you thought because of the price. Then you realize you bought the very expensive piece of yellow tourmaline. That's what happened. That's what happened. I couldn't resist it though either, Norma. So that's how that happens sometimes. Another piece that we love, and I showed this one off. I don't know if it's still available. Let me take a quick look, because I will find it hard to believe if it is, but yep, it still is, amazingly. So this piece of melon cut amethyst. Look at the color of this amethyst. Super dark, beautiful, beautiful amethyst. And you can see how clear that is when it flashes through there. You can see to the core of those amethysts. And melon cut, that's like our weakness. Andrew and I both, he especially, but he got me onto it. And these are slightly graduated as well. So graduated melon cut, like AAA grade amethyst. And says that amethyst really is lovely. It is, isn't it? I think so. So we have one strand of that available, already into a necklace if you just want to wear it as is, with that caveat that we would suggest restringing it when you're able to. Norma says that amethyst is so pretty. If you think that's pretty, maybe you'll also like, oops, sorry, keep dropping stuff. You might also like the iolite. The iolite isn't melon cut, but this is a exquisite, exquisite iolite. Lots of beautiful flash in there. Now this one does have some inclusions. It's not as clear, but for iolite, this is a beautiful color. This is a chunky strand. This is a big strand of iolite. And it has a lot of beautiful color in there, a lot of flash in there. You don't always see that kind of flash from an iolite. But I love this too, that denim-y blue goodness. And this is a heavy strand. This is a big strand. This is graduated, and it graduates up pretty sizably. It starts not too small either. Sometimes they start really small, and by the time you get up here, it looks really big, but these start out pretty big as they are. So that's a beautiful strand of iolite. And let me see. There's like one or two more I want to show you. I said I'm not going to show you them all, and then here I am. But they're just so nice. The ones that every time I see them, though, that also really take me back are these. The emerald nuggets. The emerald nuggets. Look at these beautiful emeralds. Natural emerald nuggets. Beautiful chunky necklaces with those. Graduated again. Norma says, I've never bought any iolite, and I don't know why, because I like it. I love it. It's such a pretty stone. It doesn't get, it doesn't get the news that some other stones, the talk that some other stones get, but iolite is I think it's a wonderful stone. Beautiful green emerald. Two of these strands available only, and you would get one of these when you order. So that's it. That's all we've got of those. Once they're gone, they're gone. All right, I'm going to stop, because otherwise I am going to show them all to you. But they are available in the online store at allegorygallery.com in the gemstone collection. So I hope you'll check those out. All right. We've been talking for a while. We did our hour of talk and a little bit of show and tell in that talk. So let's get started with the actual lots tonight. All right. Now remember, if you're just joining us and you haven't already, please hit the share button. You'll get an extra 10% off if you share this video and comment shared in the comments. We'll be checking for that. When we send out the invoices tonight. And I said I have a lot of different things for you tonight, and I didn't lie. we're going to start with some lampwork glass. This is some lampwork glass from a company called Divine Spark Designs. Divine Spark Designs in Tucson, Arizona. Sorry. And it's Jenny Fisk Bear is the artist. All right. These are older pieces. They're older pieces. And can you see that okay if I leave that in the bag? Yeah. These are older pieces from Andrew's collection. And we left them at the retail prices. You can see the retail prices. For example, this is MM for Miscellaneous Monday, 51. Because we had 1 through 50 last week. We're probably going to cycle through. Once we hit 100, we'll start over again. But so you can see this was $20, but you're getting that extra 10% off just for sharing. So you'll get an extra 10% off that retail price. All right, and those are old retail prices. She still sells. You can find her work around, and generally we have cross-referenced kind of size of designs and shape, and they are more expensive now than they were then. All right, so this is more like a $22 or $24 bead now instead of 20. Sorry, just had to take a drink. Almost drank from the old juice bottle. Don't want to do that. Left one in here from the weekend. Not a good idea. All right, so this is, and really, there's only one of each of these, and I will try and let y'all know if we, as we sell them. MM51, $20. Jenny Frisk Bear. Jenny Frisk Bear of Divine Spark Designs from Tucson, Arizona makes these. And these are from Andrew's collection. MM51. Oh, if you, I didn't say it. I'm just used to all of you knowing, but in case there's anyone new, to purchase from this video, take down each lot number, like that MM51, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. Please send a new email each time. Don't reply to your old emails to send a new one. That messes up the works. So send us a new email, MM number in the subject line, address it to info@allegorygallery.com, and hit send. Sandra says the eyelight is very nice, Norma, right? Super nice. Okay, MM52 is this one. MM52, $20. You'll be getting 10% off tonight. So that's $2 off, brings that down to $18 only. Handmade lampwork glass bead by Divine Spark Designs, Jenny Frisk Bear. MM53. Back when we got this was $10. It is available at $10 still, but if you shared this and you share it in the comments to let us know you shared, you get an extra 10% off. So it brings that down to $9 only for that lampwork glass bead. Lampwork glass is handmade glass by artists. This artist, Jenny Frisk Bear. Y'all like lampwork? I know some of you out there like lampwork more than others. So we're starting off tonight with some lampwork glass. Then we'll get into some other things too. Let me check my email. I forgot to put my email up. Let it cycle here. And I'll let you know if things sell out as they sell out, so that y'all know if you're rewatching this, things that have already sold out. MM54, $10 also on this. Lampwork glass. So this was the other one I just showed you. This is in a different colorway. Hey Charlie on Instagram, not cursed art, says I love that one. The little discs, aren't they cool? $9 only if you do that sharing for us. Oh, I should have my penny. I don't know if I have my penny. Let me put this here. So these beads, you can see, let's see here. Just about an inch. Just about an inch. MM54. Charlie says they're so cool, right? I love Lamport glass. Andrew obviously does too. He has quite the collection of it. Sometimes he decides to part with some of it or try to part with some of it. MM55, $15. You can get that $1.50 off. $13.50. Remember that 10% off. When we offer that, it's only for the first 24 hours of the video. That is not forever. That's for the first 24 hours of the video. Once we start another live tomorrow, that offer is over. That offer is over. So it does say today, but we'll give you until tomorrow, the next live. All right, MM55. This would be great on a bracelet, right? Or turn it into a pendant, dangle something from it, use one of those clover leaf head pins that Jen showed you how to make in our Saturday morning tutorial. Do a little clover leaf coming out there and dangle some stuff from that clover leaf. You could do that. How about that? That'd be really pretty. Let's see here. MM56 coming up. It's a little tube bead, $10. MM56, little Lamport glass tube bead. This would be great if you're just using, I could see this just on a chain. You know, put a little pin through there, wrap it, put it on a chain. Very simple, basic necklace. You're buying this for $9 if you take advantage of that 10% off. And you could sell that for what, $18 probably, at least $18, $23. Young people looking for the very simple thing. Not just young people, a lot of people looking for just the very simple basic necklaces now. So if I were you, I would start thinking that if you do selling, start thinking about those very simple things you can do and turn your money around on, right? Double your money, triple your money by making very simple things and selling them at shows. All right. Wow, that's a good deal. MM57, $8. I'm sorry, $10 would be $9, not $8. $10 originally would be $9 with the discount. Look at all the work that goes into those Lamport glass beads. Each color's done, spun, added on, and then a clear layer is done on top to kind of give it that magnification and that extra protection. MM57. And again, these are old prices from when Andrew was collecting. We're just keeping those old prices. Jenny still does make beads and sell beads, and generally for the size and shape, there are a few dollars more nowadays. So you're getting an extra discount on top of the discount of just having an old-time price. MM58, $15. This is like a tie-dye bead. It reminds me of tie-dye. I moved my camera over to plug it in, and I didn't even plug it in. There we go. Oh, thank goodness I remembered that. We were getting low. Hello, Angela. Angela shared. Thank you so much. Look at some of those flashy parts in there. Oh, Love those. MM58, $15. So that would be 10%, $1.50 off that, $13.50. There you go, MM58. Rosie joined us over there on Instagram. Thank you so much. MM59, $18 is this beauty right here. Look at that. Check that out. Isn't that stunning? Super beautiful. MM59, $18. It's $1.80 off if you shared. Send us those emails if you'd like to grab that. Only one of each of these available. From Andrew's collection. These are Divine Spark Designs from Tucson, Arizona. Jenny Frisk Bear. I love this bead so much. I could see that with some black spinel. I think that would be beautiful. Let's take a look at that. I don't know if you like when we do that or not. Hopefully you don't mind. But I think if you had some black spinel with that. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us today. Good to see you here. So I think if you had that going through there like that, look at that. Look how beautiful. That would be a very dressy design for not a lot of money. $18 for the bead, $18 for the black spinel, $36. You're getting 10% off the bead. For like $36, you have a beautiful, dressy necklace. I think that could be beautiful. Or it could be, I mean, it's probably a little bit big for on a maybe. You could probably do that too. But I would make it into a necklace. Cheryl says, boom, gorgeous. Suzanne says, both are lovely. Thank you. That's a good idea. And MM59, that one is sold. It's the first one that's sold. I'm surprised, but thank you. Andrew may be keeping some of these in his collection. And the next one, MM60, similar but different. It doesn't have some of those little, I don't know if you noticed the dots in the other one. I really like those, but this is a smaller version of the previous one. This, if you did get the previous version and you make it into a necklace, this might be a right size to add a little bracelet if you want to make a little set. MM60, because I think if you wanted to get, like this was MM59, but you could get MM60, the smaller one, and make it a little necklace and bracelet set, maybe, right? MM60. Or if not, this would still be great for someone else as a necklace pendant or a bracelet charm or a little bracelet focal. Charlie says, I love the ideas. I'm new to beads, so it helps. Good. I don't always have ideas, but sometimes they, like, that stood out to me. Sometimes they do that. They talk to you, right? All right. MM61 coming up. These are pretty simple and inexpensive. These are dyed howlite skulls, carved dyed howlite skulls, and they are 50 cents a pair. 50 cents a pair. We have 7 pairs of these available. at 50 cents a pair. These are purple. We're going to have these in a number of colors. Suzanne says, simple is so popular, right? It's what's in right now. Simple is in. So maybe you want to make a pair of little earrings for 50 cents. If you go to shows and you buy these for 50 cents and you add $1 for ear wires and the little wire you need, so let's say even if it's $1 an ear, you're at $2.50. You're getting 10% off of this already. You're at, let's just say $2.50 for a pair of earrings. You can definitely, even if you sold those earrings for $5, you've doubled your money. And if you don't think you can sell these little skull earrings at a show, I'm sure there are many shows that you could sell these, especially to get ready for Halloween, right? Especially to get ready for Halloween. So you can make a pair of earrings pretty easily for $2.50 by getting these. MM61. MM61. MM59 is sold out. We sold it out twice now. So in case anybody missed it, MM59 was already sold. But we're on MM61 here with these skulls. We have them in this purple color, beautiful purple, and they're 50 cents a pair. 50 cents a pair. MM61. And we're going to have a number of different colors of these. I'm going to take you through the different colors. MM62. Whoop. MM62. This is a darker purple. These are darker than the last ones. And these are the dyed howlite skulls, 50 cents a pair. And there are 7 pairs of these available as well. 7 pairs of these available. MM62. All right, next up. MM63. We have a pinky red color. It's a little bit pink, a little bit red. MM63, 50 cents a pair, less 10% off. And sometimes I know, sometimes these things like this, like people are like, oh, it's cheap, I don't want it. But really, these are the kind of things that you can make your money back if you go to shows, right? Buy a few pair of those, add some ear wires, make some earrings, sell them for $7 a pair, $8 a pair. Even if you have to sell them for $5 a pair, you're probably doubling your money there. $7.50, triple your money back. So there you go. There are 7 pairs of those available. That's MM63. MM64 coming up. MM64. This is a more orangey red. MM64. We have 14 pairs of these available. And some of these, like, because they're dyed, some of them are a little lighter than others. When we pick them for you, like, we'll match them up. All right, so you get pairs that look more similar. Like, these are kind of the same dye color, but sometimes it's a little lighter. You can see a little lighter, a little darker. We'll match them up for you. MM64, 50 cents a pair. And if you're just joining in, we are doing Miscellaneous Monday today. Miscellaneous Monday. We're on MM65. Whoa. Well, I just threw one of those on the floor. It rolled across the room. So these are more of a true red. So we've had a pinky red, an orangey red. This is kind of the blue red. These are, I like the blue reds. Oh, cat hair. I like the blue reds. It's my favorite red. And these are, again, 50 cents a pair only. There are 13 pairs available, provided I can find that one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That rolled across the floor. And if I can't, there are 12 pairs available. How do things roll so far? I'll have to look later. I'll have to look later for it. I don't know how things roll so far. So fast. So these are 50 cents a pair. 13 pairs available. MM65. MM65. All right. These are great. I think a really cheap price. You don't have to, like, I know sometimes you can get these by the strand. We've pretty much taken a strand, broke it down by price, and selling it to you by the pair to make it easy. Because sometimes you want a mixture and you don't want a whole strand of the same color. And I think this just makes it easy. And we have them this way, so why not? And if these don't sell, we'll probably be making a lot of earrings for Halloween like this to sell in the new store in Johnstown. Sell them for $5, $6, $7, $8. Make our money back that way too. MM66 are the greens. Now we only have 7 pair of the green available. These are a beautiful, beautiful green color. MM66, 50 cents a pair. So you get 2 of them for 50 cents. It's only 25 cents a bead. And remember, if you share this video and comment shared, you get an extra 10% off of your invoice today. Suzanne says that's a great color, right? I love this green color. It's dyed halite. Great dyeing on these. I think it's halite. This is magnesite, but I think it's halite. I always mix those two up. They both take dye pretty well. Okay, MM67. We got another set of these. There's only 6 pair of these available, and it's this light pink color. It kind of matches, almost matches me today. $0.50 a pair. MM67. MM67. And again, super easy to turn these into earrings. You could buy the whole set if you wanted them all and turn them into a bracelet. I just did them in pairs because I figured that would be the easiest thing for people to do and make little earrings. But if you bought all of them, all 6 pair, you could make a bracelet with that. Add some nice spacers in there. Just saying, those black spinel could look really good in there. They do go this way, so your bracelet would go that way. You could also make like earrings with multiple colors and do a long earring with some spacer beads in between, maybe. Different things you could do, different things you could play with. I know some of the boxes we just sent out had some of them had some kind of bone looking check glass beads, like whole bags of bone looking check glass beads. If you got any of those, you could use those. They were blue, but you could use those bone beads in between and kind of create maybe either a bracelet or an earring with the bone beads in between, so it looks like skull and bones. I think that would be cute. or if you have any other bone-shaped beads. Number of people are claiming these. I won't know if they sell out, so I'm not even saying because I can't tally that up in my head that fast. But thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying these. Oh, I am like... See, the problem is I don't have much room behind my desk right now, so I don't have much room to move. So I'm very confined. All right, so I actually have 3 of these, but there's only 1 pair. So it's 50 cents a pair, and it's MM68, and they're dark green. They're these dark green ones. So there's 1 pair available. There's an extra in the bag, but I don't have another one to match. So there's 1 pair of these available in the dark green, MM68. And that one did sell. 68 sold, I can tell you that much. So thank you. MM69 are kind of the more natural colored ones here. Sorry, my screen went dark. More natural colored ones. These ones would be great if you got those check glass beads in one of our boxes, the bone beads, and you could put a bone bead in between, hang them like this as an earring. So you get 2 pairs of these. See, I just dropped another one. You do them like this, and then you get another one, and do them like this. Put the bone beads in between. You got 1 for each ear. Wouldn't that be nice? I think so. But these are 50 cents a pair. MM69. MM69, 50 cents a pair. The other thing I didn't mention to y'all is that we also put in our bronze items into the online store, our cast bronze. We made a new collection, Cast, by Allegory Gallery. And if you were looking to get our bronze items, Andrew's little Chimera babies and my natural cast items, they are in the online store now. We've had a few sales over the weekend, but there are still some items in there available, so please do check that out. All right, this is the yellow batch, and again, these go from like a light to a medium to almost an orangey yellow. So when we pick them out for you, we will send you ones that match as best as they can anyway. Let's find a match for this one. There we go. And all of your pairs may not look exactly the same, but we will send you pairs. All right. And this is MM70. There are 6 pair available, 50 cents a pair. MM70, 50 cents a pair, 6 pairs available. MM71. This is what you typically see halite dyed like in this turquoise blue, right? This is a typical dye color to make it look like turquoise. So these are MM71. These are not turquoise, but they look like turquoise. They are a dyed halite. MM71. If they were turquoise, they'd be a lot more than 50 cents a pair. $50 a pair, wouldn't that be something? 50 cents a pair. There are 7 pair available of these MM71. And by the way, we have 51 lots today, so we're going to 101. Lucky number 101. One to grow on. All right, so we are at MM71. And then MM72 coming up is the last of the skulls. MM72, I hear kittens trying to get in my door, are these dark blue, kind of almost a lapis color, soda light color. Some, like, there's one pair in here that's a little lighter, kind of more like the soda light or a lighter lapis. There's one pair that's lighter, and then the rest are the dark blue. I just put them all together, make it easier. MM72. We will make sure we pick out pairs for you. MM72, 50 cents a pair. You see a lot of people are buying a number of these. Some people are buying one of each color. We're going to get some nice earrings, I feel like, from people. Multi colored earrings, I have a feeling. Suzanne says fantastic colors. I know. A lot of times we see these skulls and they're dyed, but they're dyed like, I don't want to say like almost pastel-y colors, and those are great too, like fiesta colors, but I feel like these are like saturated, really nice colors. So that's why we wanted to offer them that way instead of by the strand. Just, I think, made sense. More people get more things. And those will make great gifts. If you're having a Halloween party at your house, what a great little gift for people coming, a little pair of earrings to give as a gift at 50 cents. You can't beat that, right? So having a Halloween party, everybody gets a pair of earrings. Anybody who wears earrings anyway, right? The rest of the people who don't wear earrings, you got to figure out something else, but we can help you with the earrings. Okay. This is the start of Andrew's rings. And if you did not see, Suzanne says Halloween is life, right? So MM73, these are the start of Andrew's rings. If you missed the Patreon, he made a post about this. And I made a post about some of these in a way, talking about the liver of sulfur. And so these came from hand-carved bronzite beads. They were like little seals. And I think, let me see if I have one. I do. So, this is what they look like. They're from Afghanistan. They're hand-carved in like these creatures. They look like they're millennia-old designs. And we showed these, and I think we actually sold these at one point. Andrew pressed one in polymer clay. This isn't the match, but he pressed them in polymer clay, and I think we actually sold them with the polymer clay so you could see what the impression was. And he showed you how to do that in a show. So what he did is he then, the ones that he kept, excuse me, my too much talking. So the ones he kept, he pressed into precious metal clay, in fine silver precious metal clay. So these are fine silver rings with a sterling silver band. And the reason the band is sterling is because it gives it more rigidity. The fine silver is softer, and generally so bands are made out of sterling silver. So he pressed these, and these were, if you look at my post on Patreon, and you can go there and see my post for free, these were bright, bright silver. They were tumbled overnight, and they were bright. So I don't know, maybe I can, let me see if I can show you pictures. Let me see if this is going to work. Here, let's see if that works. It's uploading now. Let me see if I can add another one to show you what they look like. Let's see. That doesn't look so good. Can you see all that? Can you see that, everybody? I don't know if you can see that or not. They were very bright silver. Let me see if I can. I can't do anything more than that right now. But they were very bright silver, and then we put them into liver of sulfur, and they got very, very dark black, like this. If you're watching this on a bigger screen, you can probably see it. If you're watching on a smaller screen. So they went from bright silver tumbled to black in the liver of sulfur, and then Andrew hand polished each one. And then if you watch his lives, he did not like how they were so shiny. He didn't like that shiny kind of silver, so he gave them a matte finish. And if you've watched his lives, he's shown you how to do that matte finish, right? With one of these. So we made them all black with liver of sulfur and polished that away on the highlights here. Left some of it in there so you could see it, because just turning them silver made them a little bit more difficult to see the designs. So this, you get a background and a foreground, makes it easier to see, like this little lion creature with the long tail. So if you like these are his rings, sterling rings. They're only $42. You do save the 10% off today. So that brings them below, what, around $38, 38 something. Yeah, so $38 for a sterling ring, pretty good. This is a size 7.75. 7.75. So there you go. 7.5, 7.75 ring. MM73. Only one of each size and design available. MM73. $42 before your 10% discount. I think $30 some, $38 for a silver ring is a dang good price. Handmade, all pressed by Andrew and put together by Andrew. He made all the bands. Everything was handmade by him. Next one up, MM74. Let me show you this design. This is kind of the Phoenix design. That's an 8.75. Hey, Laura Lee, thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. 8.75 ring size with the Phoenix design in fine silver and sterling silver. Handmade by Andrew using Afghan seals that were hand carved in bronzite. These are beads. We've sold these beads before. Andrew kept some for himself. Hand pressed them in precious metal clay, fired them in the kiln, attached them to bezels, rings, tumbled them overnight, and then we liver sulfured them, and then he cleaned them, and then added the matte finish, brushed kind of matte finish instead of this shiny silver. MM74, 875, not 875, 8.75, $42, and you do get the 10% off today if you share this video and comment shared in the comments. These will be going into the online store probably tonight. Sorry, everybody. Let me take a drink. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Something in my throat. Spring is coming, so I think my spring allergies are flaring up. So it's ring size 8.75. Not quite. That's still like a pinky ring for me. But that's the Phoenix, or looks like a Phoenix to me. Look like a Phoenix to you? What do y'all think? You like the rings? What do y'all think about the rings? $38 for a sterling and fine silver ring. That's a dang good deal. It's handmade. It's a good deal. Especially when you know where it came from. It came from these hand-carved bronzite seals from Afghanistan. Like, how cool to know the whole history of where that came from. MM75 up next. And this one, sorry, I dropped it. Suzanne says outstanding price for handmade, right? He wanted to make these affordable for people. Because he often makes rings, and when he does a batch of rings, like his rings generally are in the $100 plus range, and so this time we specifically wanted to stay in a place where we think that people could grab these if they wanted to get a gift for themselves or someone else. Below, I mean, they're $42 retail, 10% off. They're below $40. And that's a really cute gift for somebody. You can see this little bird-like creature. They're all weird creatures. They look like they're from millennia ago. Like Neolithic wall carving or wall paintings is what it looks like to me. Like the old wall paintings or cave paintings, I guess. But this is bird creature. This is 5.5, size 5.5 ring. The last time Andrew made rings, he made some sizes that were pretty large. And so people were like, why don't you make smaller rings? So this time he made some smaller rings. So I think there's a pretty good spread here, but a number of these do go pretty small. So hopefully if you've been waiting for a smaller ring from Andrew, this is your chance to grab one. MM76. This is size 7.5. And we have a larger kind of version of that lion creature. The long tail. Sorry, trying to get it. Is it focusing? There we go. And again, I'm just checking each one of these as we go. Size 7.5 so you can see. MM76. MM76. Trying to make more jewelry lately. Between our bronze cast things, these silver rings, the luster pendants, kind of the luster collection, which if you missed that, I'll show you that at the end again. I love this creature. It's probably my very favorite one. It's jumping forward, it's looking back, and you can see it has long horns. So if you can't tell what that is doing, that's what it's doing. I love that one. Or it's long ears. Could be long horns, could be long ears. And this one is a size 5.5. Could be a 5.7, but it's probably 5.5 is safe, right? MM77. What do you think of the rings? You like these rings, everybody? What do you think of them? Let us know in the comments. It's always nice to hear what you think when we debut something. See, there's another longhorn thing, but it's not looking back, it's looking forward. Suzanne likes them, thank you. It's always scary when you debut something else because Andrew's not here right now. He's going to say, what did people think of the rings? I can already tell you he's going to ask me. This one's looking forward instead of looking behind, but this is kind of the same creature, just looking the other way. And this is MM78. And this is about 5.25. Doesn't quite make it to 5.5. 5.25 size. MM78. Norma says, love the rings. Thank you. I think they're so cool. This is totally something I would wear. Not many of these are in my size. Like the one is like a pinky ring, like I said, and that's the biggest one we've got. That's the biggest one we've got, and it's like my pinky ring. But I would wear it on my pinky. So it might be, if it doesn't sell, I might have to take one. We'll see. I like rings. I don't wear rings very often, but I love collecting rings. I like collect them. MM79 is this horse. Again, kind of like more of like cave painting horses. Sanders says, the thing is handcrafted is that you know where it came from. Exactly. Came right out of Star Cottage Studio. Came right out of Star Cottage Studio. All handmade, hand done. And I love the simplicity of the ring, right? That's the other thing, is the simplicity of the ring does not take away from kind of the simplicity of the designs, right? They're meant to look like old, millennia old designs and creatures, and there's nothing here that takes away from that. It's a very simple soldered on, just this soldered onto the ring. Andrew did it in a matte finish, so it's not too blingy. And it really, that liver of sulfur left on there, that darkening really shows off the design itself. This is MM79 and it's a size 6. MM79 and it's a size 6. Okay, a few more rings to go, and then we are moving on to something else. Can you use Renaissance wax or not on them? Says Suzanne. I don't see why not. I mean, you're going to be wearing them, so you might wear off the wax faster, but if you wanted to protect them from fading or shining up, there's no reason why you couldn't. It would, if you wanted to put it on here to keep it from, you mean to keep it from being polished or fading further, you should be able to, yes. Like I said, you will be wearing them, so you're going to be, you might have to wax them up more often, but there's no reason why you can't, why you shouldn't be able to use that to keep it from changing too much, right? So here's another one of those creatures with the long horns. MM80, size 5.5. MM80, size 5.5. $42. And remember, for this, until tomorrow's live, you can save 10%. If you share this video and comment shared in the comments, we'll give you an extra 10% off of your order tonight. But that only lasts until you got to get your order in before tomorrow's live starts. MM80. All right, MM81. Norma says the patron said to Andrew, buff them with Renaissance wax. Very possibly. If that's what it says, that's what he did. I read that very quickly, and that's the last thing I was reading before I came up to do the live. So I would believe that. There's probably already, he usually puts a coating of that on stuff like this. So here's that creature looking back again with the horns going the other way. This is MM81, and this is a size 7, almost a 7.25, between 7 and 7.25, but I'm not going to get that precise, right? MM81. I don't know if I could fit this on my This is the creature I like the best. That's my favorite one of the bunch. And I think that'd make a good pinky ring, right? But it's also probably a good size for people out there. So this one may go size 7. That's a pretty popular size. MM81. And the last of the rings is a size 5.5, MM82. And let me see. This is the head of a person on a horse's body, or horse-like creature body, the long tail and a wing. This is probably the wildest of the designs. Again, there's a woman's head with long hair on what looks like a horse's body with the horse long tail and wings. So it's like a Pegasus with a woman's head. I think it's so cool. That's MM82, and it's a size 5.5. 5.5 to 5 3/4 in between there. And that one definitely does not fit me. It goes to, I could wear it on as a knuckle ring. Have you seen people doing that? A lot of people do that now. They ran out of space for their rings here, so they've moved up to wearing rings up here. There you go. Oops, that way. All right, so those are the rings. MM82 is the last one. They will go on the website at $42. And generally when we put Andrew's jewelry on the website, it's not discountable in sales. So this is probably one of the few sales, unless we ever get to a point where we do a closeout on those. This is probably one of the few times you'll get a sale on those rings. So if you're interested, I hope you grab them. So far, they're all available. All right, moving into some check glass and other things. We have MM83. MM83, $6. You can see the old price on this was $6.95. $6.95, and these are, I don't know what do they call this design? They call it rose petal. I'm not sure if that's a rose petal or not, but that's the design. I think it's a really cool design. And it's $6. There's only one of these available, MM83. MM83. You get a strand of that. Only $6, and you get the 10% off today. Made a mess. You can tell that was an old label. It's falling apart. Vintage stuff, vintage stuff. Okay, next up, MM84, check glass strand. MM84, beautiful fiery check glass. It has those reds, those kind of yellows in there, turning into some oranges. The combination. It's a nice big strand. It's an 8-inch strand of check glass. $6 a strand. We have 11 strands of those available. And of course, you're going to get 10% off of that. So 60 cents off brings it down to $5.40 a strand only. That's a nice strand of check glass for $5.40, right? Normally, we'd offer that more in the store. At 8 inches, that's a big strand. So great deal on those. We have 11 of those available, MM84. Oh, excuse me. The MM82 is sold. That's one of the rings. Thank you so much. MM85. This is another strand of that check glass, the long strand. Well, I should tell you. Let me try and tell you. Oops. How many millimeters? These are about 8 millimeter. Boy, blue on blue background. About 8 by 8. They don't look like it, but they're 8 by 8. 8 inches long, 8 by 8 millimeters. Check glass. MM85. Only $6 for the strand. Really brings it down to $5.40 after your discount for sharing today. Nice deep blue color. That is, for some people, including me, that would be a bracelet. So for $5.40, just restring that up, maybe put some spacers in there, and you'd have more than enough beads to make a bracelet and earring set if you wanted to do a simple one. If you're doing shows, it's that kind of thing. Think about that. MM85, $6 only. MM86 coming up. Y'all hanging in there with me? Thank you for hanging out. We really appreciate it. MM86, this is another 8-inch strand in that 8 by 8 size in purple. We only have one of those available. One of those that we found in the stash. Check glass. MM86. $6 a strand only. Remember, everybody, it's Miscellaneous Monday. Sometimes you get 11 of something, and sometimes you get 1 of something. That's just the way it works. It's just the way it works out. MM87 is this fiery pink, orangey yellow color. This is in a shorter strand. It's a 6-inch strand, and I think these are 6 millimeters. Yes, 6 millimeters by 6 millimeters. So a little bit smaller, only $4 a strand. We have 2 of them available. 2 of them available. I think these are super pretty. They look like a sunset. Look at those. MM87, $4 a strand. That's before your 10% off. So really $3.60 for that. $3.60, 2 strands available. I mentioned when I shared this that we have like the pricing gamut right here. Like we're going from some $42 rings down to some 50 cents a pair of beads. I showed you some $100 strands of gemstones today. We got something for everyone, and that's what we very much try to do at Allegory Gallery, is have something for everyone. We never want anyone to feel left out of the community, never want anyone to feel like they can't afford to make. Right? There's another 6 by 6 millimeter, 6-inch strand of check glass. Only one of these available in this pretty blue. It's a blue yellow, so you get also a limey green color in there. MM88, 1 strand available. Nice vintage check. All right, MM89. MM89. Again, $4. So 6-inch strand, 6 by 6. This beautiful blue purple color. MM89. $4 for the strand. All right, now we're moving on into some gemstones to finish out. I think we have a little check glass at the end, but now some gemstones. MM88. How many does I have one of those? That's sold out. MM88 is sold out. Thank you. All right. Now, these, I'm 100% not entirely certain on the stone. And Andrew isn't around right now to ask. So I think these are a dyed jade. They could also be an Amazonite. My first guess originally was Amazonite, but I'm not 100% sure. They have the bits of white in some of them that Amazonite would have. So I think I'm almost 100% sure this is Amazonite and not a jade. But I don't know for sure. So I set the price at $7. If it was Amazonite for sure, I'd probably have priced it around 12. Would be our retail 12 to 15. But these are nice little rounds, and these are 2mm rounds, I believe. These are 2mm rounds, and they are MM90. 2 of them available, $7 a strand only. $7 a strand. There you go. Sorry, I wish I could tell you exactly, but they're pretty, I'll tell you that. And then the next ones, I believe are a citrine or possibly an orange cat's eye. That's another thing, but I don't see much cat's eye, but at this size sometimes you don't really see it. But I think these are a citrine. It's a darker. There are 2 of these available, and they are $7 each. They're really pretty. And they're 2mm rounds. 2mm rounds. MM91. MM92, sorry, we're jumping back into check glass real quick. There's a little bit jumping back and forth here. That's okay. 8-inch strand, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4mm by 4mm. 4mm by 4mm, beautiful blue. Only $5 a strand at 8 inches. And you save that 10% today. Save that 10% today. That a beautiful color. Beautiful check glass strands. There are 10 of those available. And again, 8 inches, that's enough to do a bracelet on its own. And then if you add some different color spacers in there, you can get that up to maybe 2 bracelets, or bracelets and earring pair, little dangle earrings. All right, next up, I think these are super pretty. Some of my favorites of the night coming up. We have multi-smooth rondelle gemstone strands. 3 of them available, $12 each. There are all different kinds of stones in here. Check these out. Beautiful stone strands. All different kinds of stones in there. Danette says, good night all. Need to try and get some sleep so I can get better. Good night, Danette. We're almost done, everybody. Let you all go soon. I mean, not that I can keep you here, right? But hopefully you're enjoying the show. Danette's not feeling well with COVID, so get your sleep, Danette. All different kinds of stones in there. You got some jaspers, you got some agates, lots of different things, some carnelians in there. Beautiful stones. MM93, only $12 a strand. Only $12 a strand, and you're going to get $1.20 off. You get to 10% off. Brings it down to what, about $10.80 a strand? That's a great deal for those. MM93. MM93. 3 only available, and then they're gone. And then they're gone. Down to 2 of those available. Thank you so much. MM94 are these mixed strands. There are 4 of these available, but in the tube shape. So it's those mixed strands like those rondelles. I think the rondelles were 5 by 7, 5 by 8 millimeters, by the way, too. Tube beads. These are, I love tube beads. MM94. And again, there are 4 different strands available. You will get 1 of these if you order. Like some lapis in there. There's all different kinds of jaspers and agates. It's like serpentine. There's tiger eye flashing at you. Beautiful. Looks like some aquamarine in there. MM94. And these are approximately, let's see, 5 millimeter by 3. 5 millimeter by 3 millimeter tube beads. All natural stones. There's a carnelian. MM94. MM95 coming up. Mixed beads in this kind of cylinder, barrel, whatever you call that shape. MM95. Strawberry quartz in there, I see. Some amethyst, it looks like. There's some opalite, which is man-made in there as well. It's like another lapis in there. Some prehnite. 2 strands of these available, $11 each, MM95. I like this shape. The tubes are really nice. These have the rounded ends, slightly rounded ends, so that they don't fit, like the tubes fit up right against each other, whereas these do not. So it depends on the look you're going for and what you're trying to do. But I like these too. I like these ones a lot. I don't see this shape very often. I feel like, especially at this size. MM95. 2 of those available. 1 of them left. Thank you so much. I think we're down to 1 of the 93s. Thank you so much. MM96. If you like those other ones, well, I've got another deal for you. Rice beads. So rice shape. These ones are approximately 4 millimeters by 6 millimeters. 4 by 6 millimeters. Oh, and this strand is 13, 14, 15, over a 16-inch strand. Is that right? Did I do that math right? 12. Yeah, 16, about 16 and a quarter inch strand. Old strands. Rice beads. All different stones. Some of these look like they might be dyed, but still beautiful stones. And only $8 a strand. MM96, $8 a strand. Probably should have priced these a little bit higher, but giving you a good deal tonight. I could see something like this going for at least 12 in the physical store. MM96, $8 a strand, and you're getting that 10% off tonight if you comment that you shared, and share the post, share this video. MM96. Let me show you. I'm just showing you all of them. You're going to receive one of these. You don't get to pick, but we'll send out one of them to you. Just like all of these miscellaneous strands like this. We'll pick one for you and send it out. If you have a preference on colors or something, you can put that in your email, but we can't guarantee it, just so you know. But we'll do our best. Like this one has a lot of yellows. You want one with more yellows in it? You can say that. We'll try and do our best. Size, asked Susan again. These are, I forget now. I know we went over it. These are about 4 millimeters. Let me make sure that was right. 4 millimeters wide. I don't have my calipers. 4 millimeters wide by 6. 4 by 6. 4 by 6 rice beads. And a 16-inch strand. 16 and a quarter inch strand, actually. 16 and a quarter inch strand. All right, MM96. $8 only. We have 4 total. Now we have 3 of those available. We have a purchase on one of those. Thank you. MM97. These are really something I don't see very often. These little donut beads. Look at those. Aren't those fun? MM97. And these are approximately 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters. And this strand is a 16-inch strand as well. 10 millimeter little donuts. Only $10. That's a lot of work to cut those out. Only $10 a strand. MM97. Aren't those fun? That'd be fun for a bracelet. That'd be fun for some earrings. If you have some little seed beads, you could dangle them inside, right? Because you can see you could put seed beads in there and play around with that. I know a lot of y'all could figure out some fun stuff to do with these. And I do not see this kind of stuff very often. This shape. Have you seen this shape in a while? I've not seen this shape. There's some older strands of Andrews. Ooh, look at that one. Tourmalinated quartz in there. That one caught my eye real quick. Charlie says, prettiest Fruit Loops. I'd love little spoon charms with them. I must be hungry, right? MM97, we have 3 available. 2 are already sold, everybody. We have 1 of these left. MM97, 1 still available. If you're interested, grab it before someone else does. MM97 10 millimeter, little loops, little oval, little circles, little donuts. I guess donut's probably their best word, right? MM97, $10 a strand. If you share this post and comment shared, you'll get an extra 10% off everything tonight. So make sure you do that. Make sure I see that comment. Make sure you post. Share the posts. Otherwise, you don't get that 10%, y'all. I'm going to be stingy with that 10% this time. All right, everybody. Joking aside. One strand of these available. Only $14. A whole strand of gemstone hearts. This should definitely be more than $14, but we wanted to give you a great deal here toward the end. One strand available. Look at all those hearts on there. And really pretty, pretty stones. Nice quality stones. This strand is a 14-inch strand. And these hearts are about 12 millimeters by about 12 millimeters. MM98. By the way, MM97 has sold out. Thank you so much. This is MM98. Beautiful strand. $14, and it is sold. Thank you so much. Someone got a great deal on that one. You're gonna make your money back on those. For earrings, you better believe it. Okay. MM99. We have a few strands of this check glass laying around. MM99, this kind of rainbow, beautiful. Oh, I love these strands. MM99, we have 2 strands of those available. 2 strands available. The strands are exactly the same. You get the same number of beads, which is kind of rare sometimes, actually. Let's delete and ban that user. Sorry, we got some spam coming up in the YouTube. MM99. We have a pair of these available. They're $6 each strand, 2 strands available. They are exactly the same. I got the troll. Thanks, Susan. It showed up for me. I banned them. They shouldn't be able to do anything anymore. And removed the comment. Thank you. MM99. Troll be gone, right? Got to take care of that. We don't need that business. Don't need that negativity up in here. MM99, only $6 a strand. These are big. I think these are 10 millimeter faceted rounds, rondelles. They look like faceted rounds. I'm going to call them faceted rounds. 10 millimeter check glass. Only $6 a strand. Only $6 a strand. MM99. Really pretty. And if you like MM99, or you're going to grab any of those and you want some smaller spacers for in between for a really great deal tonight, I've got 2 strands of the smaller size, which is 5 millimeter, half the size, 5 millimeter, to use if you want to use them as spacers. So you could, let me see, where is it? Boy, that bag just went flying because it's not near me at all. So here's, for example, 99 and 100 together. What a beautiful combination, right? Lovely, lovely combination. I love those colors. Love them. They're kind of like a rainbow, but subdued or a little bit darker, like the dark rainbow, right? I just love those. They're not super bright and flashy, but they have some flash. a little bit darker color. So that's MM100. $5 only a strand, less your 10% brings them down to $4.50 a strand only. What a great deal for check glass. And those strands are 6-inch strands. Yeah, 6-inch strands. All right. And lastly tonight, we're going over the 100 mark by 1. MM101. This is another old strand. This was marked in the time when the labels, so far long ago, the labels are peeling up, $6.95. We're offering it for $6. It's a check glass leaf strand, matte frosted leaves. What kind of leaves are those? I don't know. Is that an elm? I don't know what an elm looks like. I'm just making guesses at this point. MM101, only $6, and that is sold. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Okay, let me flip the camera around here. We'll talk about a few more things and then we'll say goodbye. Settings, camera, flip the camera to the front camera, mirror the camera so I look like myself to me. All right, everybody. Whoop. Hi again. So thanks for tuning in with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got lots of goodies. There are still a number of things available, especially some of that lampwork glass from the beginning, some of Andrew's rings, many of Andrew's rings. So if you like any of those, please grab them. Again, the 10% discount counts only for tonight and tomorrow until tomorrow's live. Once we start tomorrow's live, that 10% is off the table. Things go back to the retail prices that we showed you on the tickets. Yeah, we talked about gemstones tonight. We showed you the rings tonight. We showed you the finished, one of the nearly finished luster pendants. Let me see if I can get that to, here's one of the luster, and for the first time we showed you the backs so you can see what those are going to look like. Black backs ready to go out the door. We did the first production batch of those and they are going out starting tomorrow. Tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when we get the finishing touches done on those. And also, if you missed it this weekend, we did not have a Saturday morning tutorial by Jen, but Andrew did a live Saturday morning tutorial. It's the first time we've ever done a live Saturday morning tutorial, and he did it on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you missed that, check it out. He showed you how to make really cool beads, and I don't know where they are. Where did they go? Hold on one moment. One moment, please. The whole board is gone, so he must have taken it. But he showed you how to make these really cool beads out of copper and kind of a crescent roll kind of copper with squiggly additions with copper wire. So if you missed that, check that out because it's worth taking a look at. And yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please send us an email. Always email us for questions. And we look forward to hearing from you. All right. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Suzanne says, such fun. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.